ask me, Ucha, do you regret doing your housemanship in UBTH? I would say yes. If you ask me, would you tell your enemy to go to UBTH? I would say no. Because I don't care how much I hate somebody, I will not want somebody to experience UBTH as I experienced it. So welcome back to my channel. This is the honest truth about doing house job in UBTH. So I got to UBTH on February 23rd, 2024. Started 1st of March because I wanted my postings to be like first, you know, this kind of thing. And once I got there, I was like, oh my god, this place is so nice, so big and everything. Before I know what's happening, someone started telling me the postings are stressful. Like, I've not even stepped foot. They're telling me it's stressful. And they're like, start with the most stressful postings, which was between medicine and pediatrics. I was like, since I'm not really a fan of babies, maybe I start with pediatrics. Hey. Waiting my eyes see for pediatrics. My mouth no fit talk. Pediatrics. Jesus. It's divided into special care baby units, the pediatrics ward, and the children emergency. I think the most, like the one you actually enjoy the most is the children emergency. Where you will see shaggy in pediatrics is STBU and P ward. Now imagine if you are there with scarcity of house officers. And now that they have scarcity of regis, you and those babies are going to be battling those lines, baby girl, baby boy. You're going to suffer, you're going to see shaggy. In STBU, we work with shifts. But even if you are working with shifts, the only thing you will do is go home, sleep, wake up. Go home, sleep, wake up, because you are exhausted. If you're on morning shift, you will summarize all the babies, and God punish you, there are 28 babies. You summarize all the 28 babies. You will do ward work for all the 21 babies. You will give drugs to all 21 babies before you go home in the evening. Now, if you're in the night, you will give them evening drugs. Cite all the lines that teach you. In the morning, you still do random blood sugar for the babies. In a way, night duty is sort of lesser than morning duty, but the amount of lines you will recite. Hey! There's some people that don't even bother, they're just gonna call their arrest to come outside the line because you are exhausted. You know what it means to push 21 mils into a baby with 2 mil syringe? Imagine. Although we devised some means of, getting through it, but it's exhausting, especially when you're a newbie. You don't know what this means to make this faster for yourself. Because we didn't have any onboarding teaching. You just get there, thrown into the wild. I got there the first day. I saw my senior pushing drugs. Said, "Oh, come and learn how to calculate." I was like, what's going on? I don't even know how to cite line. I don't know anything. I didn't think doctors cited lines till I got to UBTH. I was very shocked. Then the ward, luckily, I was posted to respiratory units. We barely have patients. God punish you, they post you to neuro, hemato-onco, infectious unit, nephro. You go suffer tire. Neuro people. And the annoying thing is that they know how overworked the house officers were in the ward, especially the neuro, hemato-onco. Slight things you do, extra call. And depending on the amount of house officers there, during my time, we were shared between the 2 wards, but now I think they share them between 3 wards. So, unfortunately, now you do either alternate calls or 3 calls per week. 2 to 3 calls per week. During my time, it was just 1 or 2 calls. And in the whole month, I had only 5 calls. Now, because of the extra calls they kept giving people, I ended up doing only like 3 calls. Because they were always giving somebody extra call and it was falling on my own call. It's irritating, right? because we are just new house officers. Some of them don't even know how to sideline. Some of them don't even know how to do anything. Extend grace to teach. Extend grace so that people can understand and maybe like, oh, wow, pediatrics, they really made me, they really pampered me. You know how little people care about pediatrics. You know how much, when you ask somebody who wants to be pediatrics, because of how they think. I know that children cannot speak for themselves. I know that it is a high engaging unit. But if you guys don't treat people who are working there with care, nobody will want to do pediatrics. And that's just simple. She, as I said, is one of the loveliest parts. It's fast-paced, so you're not really feeling what's going on. You're just, since we're also working in shifts, once you're done, you go home. Once you're done, you go home. But at the end of the day, during the 3 months I spent in pediatrics, I didn't go out once. Even party that they're doing downstairs, I didn't go out. So I just come back, sleep, come back, sleep, come back, sleep, come back, sleep. I was tired. Yes, I did respiratory, but I was tired mentally. Then my next posting was obstetrics and gynecology. My rotation was pediatrics, obstetrics and gynecology, internal medicine, and surgery unit. I became the HO rep for obstetrics and gynecology. So basically, you could arrange your calls to when it fits you and all those kind of things. So those were the benefits. And I used it, I'm not going to lie. I did the same amount of calls that everybody did, but I was able to fit the calls when I would prefer it. And then I was able to go out sometimes during those periods. Now, unfortunately for us, during the time I was now in ORG, that was when house officers started dwindling. And then we became 13. We started wavering between 17 to 13 house officers, maybe a week, 2 weeks before I ended my ORG posting. And unfortunately, to ORG, you remain in one unit for the whole of the 3 months. I was in unit 3, which was the fetal maternal unit, the HOD's unit. So you remain there for the whole of the 3 months. You don't swap to IVF, you don't swap to family planning, you don't swap to oncology. Thank you, Jesus. Not really a fan of oncology like that. So the calls, labor ward calls, guy, if I can do anything not to do labor ward calls, I will do it. We were legit suffering for people's enjoyment. Like, it was such a high tension place because labor mothers are not sick. That's what we say. Pregnant women are not sick. They are physiologically well, but they can die as a result of what they are carrying. So, you know, the blood running, whenever they just say PPH, I make sure I'm not the one who goes to run that blood. Because it became so exhausting. Like, you know what's annoying? The lab already knows what kind of situation we're in. So it got tired, and it got tiring for me that every time you go there, you start explaining we need blood for this. Like, you already know why I'm here. Why do I have to be talking and trying to convince you? I understand that this blood, other people own it. And then we bring the family members to replace it. Then you're like, oh, don't, you are just talking and wasting my time. Somebody is practically packing at that place. It was really exhausting. That's why every time I keep asking, why didn't ONG have their own blood bank? When women come for antenatal, they provide blood, maybe 2 pints of blood, so that all these things do not end. ONG was one of my saddest postings because it just showed me, like, there were so many sad things I was seeing there, and I actually loved ONG, funny enough. It was just so sad when you see husbands treating their wife anyhow, husbands abandoning their wives, family abandoning them, women dying anyhow. It was just really like, I just really felt it. I connected with ORG in UBTH, but it was so stressful. In fetal maternal, on Mondays our theater day, on Tuesdays our grand ward round. You have to summarize all the patients. On Wednesdays, clinical meeting, so it was just like a free day. On Thursday was our ANC clinic. On Friday was our gynae clinic. We were never free. On Saturday, free if you don't have call. Then on Sunday, we had to come and prep the patients for surgery. So I practically was living in the hospital. And then I became, since I was the HO rep, I became the oldest in my unit. Everybody was looking at me. If there was a problem, Ucha, I was like, ah, you Jesus Christ. Osumigon. Osumigon. I was tired. It was not nice to work in ONG. It was sort of toxic. Yeah. But working with some of the Reggies were just really, really toxic. They were just really, they just want to use you. Ah, Jesus Christ. Guy, I thought pediatrics and ONG was bad. When I got to internal medicine, that was when my premium shaking, renewed shaking started. Hey! Just because I irritated or vexed the HO rep, she decided to show her wings to me and then she put me on neurology, where I met my fellow sufferers. Initially I was angry, but in that neurology, we just created this bond between me and the people there. To date, we're still pretty close because we saw suffering. What we saw, internal medicine was the place. I was weighing 72 when I got to house job. I was still pretty weighing 72 in ONG. In internal medicine, I dropped to 66 within 3 months. I was working out too, but it was not the workout that I would lose weight. I was lifting weights. So it's not the workout I would lose weight. It was the workout I would add like muscle. I may shrink, but I'll add muscle, so I will be heavier. I lost weight. I was always hungry. Yeah, I was always tired. I was always exhausted. Internal medicine, that in neurology, we had patients. I was always saying we had patients too. Only for me to ask the people behind us, and they're like, we do not have patients. Because during our time, the patients was waving between 17 to 21. They said during that time, they had over 40 patients. They would walk around the hospital to see patients. I said, if that me, I will collapse. And the bad thing was that we were now not many. When I initially started, like for the first 3 weeks, we were scanty. So they knew we were in neuro, and they kept giving house officers in neurology 3 calls. How? In neuro, our summary was not funny. You summarize this patient, you examine these patients, their test results must be there. Guy. Let me not even go to the nurses in internal medicine wards. The sweetest nurses were C1 nurses. They didn't even have problem. They can help you do everything. They were sweet. Or the medical emergency nurses, they were very, very sweet. But the nurses in G ward, that's old geriatric ward, the nurses in A3, the nurses in A1, if possible, they will make you not sleep. They will do it. Let's even talk about the consumables. You come and do call in internal medicine ward. They will count. I have a video of one of the. That's if I've not lost this video. It is your gloves. Do you want what I did and you gave that to me? I bet. What thing is this? Pop body, block for the hands. And they will took many nylon gloves. You expect me to do a bloodless cannulation? Adult ward where a lot of HIV hepatitis is there. But say hepatitis vaccine. For me, how will I work? Do you know what we call the main ward? TB HIV ward. Because a lot of the patients are HIV TB. And it's not to bash anybody, I'm just being factual. And then they give you little amount of gloves to work. To put your own health into priority, you will have to go to M.E. and steal gloves. Syringe. In a tertiary hospital, no syringe. They will even be telling you to reuse a syringe. You use syringe this night, they will tell you to use the next morning that there's no syringe. We are supposed to give drugs. And you wonder why some hospitals are just right giving. They do not give the drugs. One of my fellow associates at one time just kept writing, nurses did not provide syringe, nurses did not provide syringe, nurses did not provide. And they're like, but they wanted to punish me. I was like, you did not provide anything. Which is the truth. They did not provide anything. Consumables. You will look for glove, look for in internal medicine ward, you will look for glove, look for syringe, look for sample bottle, look for everything, look for everything. The work, the doctor will say, we tell you. How will I be in a ward where there are many patients with TB, many patients with HIV contaminated? Oh God, even myself, I cannot even say contaminated. Communicable diseases. But you don't have nose masks. You don't have syringes. You don't have sample bottles. You don't have gloves for us to work. Then, do you know they are not? They'll say, hey, go to that one and get it now. And then our stupid seniors. So then study for it. They're like, why didn't you go to that one to get it? They finished. Our medical elders. That's how they finished them. That's why I was happy I was in neuro. If I clear my SR, then Dr. Izzy went back to that. Yeah, there was no bottom. It's like, fine. Document it. I will document it. But as usual, those nurses that they were always can look for it. So I had a very good rapport with the nurses in that scene when we became very, very close. That time they see me, I was like, Doctor, they were one of the cutest nurses I ever worked with, honestly. I really loved working with them. Stroke ward nurses. Really sweet women. But other places. Geriatric ward. At least they get syringe, they get syringe and sample bottle for that place. For gloves, even during the day when you come and review patient with your SI, gloves, they will shoot the gloves inside their pockets. You now say, matron glove now. Best thing hospital economics. You now bring the gloves. Yeah, take. Guy, when I left UBTH, the first thing I did was I did all my viral markers. Everything. I cannot go somewhere like that with negative, and because of hospital economics, I will not get positive. Well, I will sue everybody. It was so irritating working in internal medicine. They now look about the calls. 1 doctor to 20, something to 30 patients. You give all the drugs. You take care of all the emergencies. Hey! Guy, my face call, my eye tear. If they give you female ward, with those veins that they see, they nearly wound one of my friends with that female ward. Misha, they wanted to wound me with male ward, but I was happy. Yes, give me the TB and HIV ward. I will take it. At least they see their veins. That female ward, you don't choke. Waiting my eyes see for internal medicine. I love it talk. When you do call in internal medicine, you know a pediatrics call is a joke. And it's adult too. It's a joke. Now they are lying the tissue. I was shocked that I went to adult ward and their lines were tissue more than pediatric ward. I was that shocked. I was like, wow. You don't enter. You don't see something. Then I got to surgery. Around this time, we're no longer, the house officer count was not like, I think 120 thereabouts. So there was scarcity. I did general, so in surgery you have to do 3 postings. I did CTU, general surgery, 2, and trauma and acute care. I enjoyed trauma. I enjoyed CTU. I actually learned how to do central lines. Like, it was, CTU was one of the chillest postings I did. They were pampering me. I mean, I was the only house officer there for the whole of the month. So they even gave me some days off. My regis were actually really sweet. They were always covering for me. Sometimes they would just do the rounds, do the take all the samples, even give drugs for me. It was really, really one of my sweetest postings. Yes, I was the only house officer for like 3 weeks. No matter what I did, it was not enough. When I left that place, they even knew that me, I didn't like them. Like, which I didn't even beat us. I told them point blank, see me and yes, general surgery. Don't even try it. Don't even try it. I hated those people with the way they don't wear that general surgery that was happening. You could never do enough to please those people. They knew you were the only one, but there was always a but. There was always a but. There was always a problem. There was always something wrong. There was just always something. It was just like I was not enough. Then one day my SR was like, child, you didn't even come to the party that I invited, because in UBTH they are partying a lot. So we had this clubhouse underneath the house officers building where they just throw parties here and there. Like, every time we have party, don't come, you don't even smile with us again. I was like, why would I smile? Like, ever since I entered general surgery, I'm not smiling again. I was the HO rep there too again. It's like, why would I smile? Like, there's nothing to smile about. Like, there's nothing to smile about in this place. There's nothing to smile about. There was nothing to smile about in that general surgery. Every day, and I was in general surgery too, we had a lot of patients. My unit, for some reason, liked admitting patients. For the 3 weeks I was alone, we had consistently like 14 patients, and I was the only house officer. Then almost all the patients, if not all, will have ward work to do. Sometimes I will go to gym, come back, do the work, go back home. Sometimes I even call the person on call that, I beg, help me do this one. It was so strenuous. It was so exhausting that whenever I'm on call, even they call me that something's happening, the SR need you, because SR will be on call, Reg will be on call, because I'll be on call, then the house officer. If they are calling me, house officer, I will not even go. I will just be in the ward doing what I'm doing. They will call, I will not go. One day, our chief regiment had to tell the SR that you are disturbing these house officers. You already know how scanty they are. Stop calling them in the middle of the night for things that you and your reg can't do. Stop calling. And that's what's factual. We were just like, is it 19? We are calling. We need you. You need me for what? You need me for what? The usage, like, they make you feel worthless, like you don't have what. The only what you have is to be a slave. It was like, there's nothing good you will ask me that I will say of general surgery. There's nothing anybody wants to tell me. I noted them and they know it. If they ask anybody about me in general surgery, they know I hated them so much. I hated them until I still hate them. When I went to trauma posting, it was like, I just felt like I had autonomy to do what I wanted. It was so sweet. My consultants were so sweet to work with. They were really, really understanding. You know, when you work with younger consultants, they just really know how to, like, the rapport. They were always covering for us. The nurses report us, like, oh, don't talk to my doctors like that. My doctors are not allowed to do this. My doctors are not doing this. Even if they help people to do this, it's just trauma patient. Good. You know, I enjoyed my time in trauma. I cannot even lie. I absolutely enjoyed my time in trauma. And that concludes my posting. So if you ask me, would you ever go to UBTH again to do house job? God forbid. Do you know that? Maybe were telling me, I should just stay, maybe the NYSC or come and do residency. Am I mad? Am I mad? I can't work in a place where my safety, my mental health is not guaranteed. Or I'm working at the expense of myself. You're even working at the expense of the patients too, because you're tired, you're exhausted, you're frustrated. You're only working for the hospital, working like a machine, working. The hospital is the only one benefiting. So I can never, if anybody asks me, oh, Ucha, you went to UBTH, should I go there? My answer will be a big fat no. Except if you are ready to suffer. Which I cannot hold you. Like if you want to suffer, go. If you don't want to suffer, fine. I just never would tell somebody to go there. That's just me. Now for the extracurricular talking, the food in Benin was just not to my liking. Like I felt like the going out was so restricted. If you didn't want to go to club or to a lounge, you were so restricted basically. I don't know. Maybe the food in UBTH felt like everybody was scared of ingredients. They just don't have good food. Or maybe I was just I can say maybe I was already too mad. I didn't even want to care anymore. I just did not like anything at that point. But when I came, I was so open-minded. I even thought I was going to stay in Benin for like 2 years, but I had to leave. It was just not it. Anytime people ask me what happened, why did you become so angry? I was mad at the fact that I put myself in that position. I could not even be mad at anybody. I could not even be angry at anybody, because I had other options of where to go. And I stuck with UBTH thinking, oh, I will learn a lot. Oh, it's a big facility. Oh, it's nice. The reviews have been nice. If only I just dug a little bit deeper, maybe I would not be ranting today. So I hope you guys can listen to this. If you still want to go to UBTH, fine. I'm not holding you. I'm not like, if you want to go. Because now most of the house officers going there are majority of their own students. When outsiders find out what's happening in UBTH, they run for their lives. I'm not going to hold any person to go or not to go. You guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and drop a comment.